2 sailboats are missing in the Caribbean. The Friendship and the Tigermoth departed Isla Mujeres, Mexico on March 21st, bound for Havana with 9 people aboard: Polish, French, Cuban, American, including a small child. They carried 2 to 3 tons of rice, beans, baby formula, and medicine. They were part of the Nuestra América Convoy, a flotilla organized to break what its supporters call the blockade of Cuba. Expected arrival, March 24th. No communication since departure. No distress signal. On March 27th, the U.S. Coast Guard told AFP the vessels had safely transited to Cuba. Hours later, the Coast Guard retracted its own statement. The boats were still missing as of March 28, 2026.
The convoy that lost those boats is not a small operation. The Nuestra América Convoy brought roughly 650 delegates from 33 countries and over 120 organizations, coordinated by Progressive International, Code Pink, in the People's Forum. The guest list included Greta Thunberg, Jeremy Corbyn, Pablo Iglesias, and Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. A third vessel, a fishing boat rechristened the Granma 2.0, did arrive in Havana on March 24th, carrying 14 tons of aid: solar panels, food, medicine, bicycles. Díaz-Canel personally received it. The name Granma 2.0 is not subtle. The original Granma brought Castro to Cuba in 1956. This one brought solar panels and a photo opportunity. Hasan Piker stayed at the Grand Hotel Bristol, a 5-star Malia property. $130 to $520 a night, private generators. From there, he told his audience, quote, "People are partying in the streets. I don't know if it's an island mindset." Asked by Slate whether he grappled with concerns about disaster tourism, he answered, "Not even a little bit." Meanwhile, El Estornudo reported what delegates would have found 2 blocks from their hotel: tons of garbage on nearly every corner, balconies held up by improvised beams, someone sleeping on cardboard. Cuban journalist Melissa Cordero Novo called it a safari of misery. Quote, "The ultimate disrespect one human being can show another, looking down from a privileged height and documenting them as if they were in a zoo." But while the world watches the sea for those boats, there is a 16-year-old boy in a cell in Ciego de Ávila that nobody is watching. His name is Jonathan David Muir Burgos. He has been detained since March 16th. No formal charges. He sleeps on the floor because his mattress is infested with bedbugs. He has dyshidrosis, a chronic skin condition complicated by streptococcal and staphylococcal infections that have endangered his life multiple times. He requires constant medication. He is receiving none. He is the son of evangelical pastors who run an independent church the state does not recognize. He was detained after protests in Morón. He is 16 years old. The convoy brought 650 delegates to Cuba. None of them know he exists. Morón, Ciego de Ávila province. Night of March 13th. 7 consecutive nights of total blackouts. No food, no fuel. Hundreds take to the streets banging pots and shouting, "Libertad, abajo la dictadura, que pongan la corriente, coño." The crowd gathers at the police station, then moves to the Communist Party municipal headquarters. They enter the building. They drag furniture and propaganda into the street and burn it. Viewers of episode 2 know this city. Same school system, same anger, same darkness. A 7-minute video captured what happened next. A young man approaches the building. A gunshot is audible. The man collapses. State media denied it. The internet in Morón was cut. 14 people were arrested. Special forces deployed. The regime organized a loyalty rally the next day and blamed Miami.
Jonathan's parents, Pastor Elier Muir Ávila and Minervina Burgos Lopez, run the Tiempo de Cosecha Independent Church in Morón. Independent meaning outside state control. In 2024, authorities warned them, only churches accepted by the party can exist, only pastors recognized by the state can minister. On March 16th, Jonathan and his father received a police summons. They went voluntarily. Both were taken to a police unit known as El Técnico. Pastor Muir was released at 5:30 p.m. Jonathan was not. He was transferred to the Technical Investigations Department in Ciego de Ávila. He was interrogated about the protests, specifically whether he called for freedom. He has not been formally charged. He has been held for 12 days. Reverend Mario Felix Leonard Barroso of the Instituto Patmos called it what it is: es un vulgar secuestro.
a vulgar kidnapping. Jonathan sleeps on the floor. The mattress is infested with chinches, bedbugs, which severely aggravate his dehydrosis. His skin condition has worsened without medication. His father reports poor nutrition, further weakening him. Quote, "My son has been psychologically affected. Today marks the 9th day of confinement, and he already felt like 15 days had passed. He seems very nervous and afraid." His parents filed a habeas corpus petition. The Provincial People's Court of Ciego de Ávila denied it. Bail was also rejected. The parents were told in advance it would be denied. The hearing was a formality, the outcome predetermined. His father said, "I would have preferred 1,000 times to be imprisoned instead of my son." Cubalex, the legal organization, plans to take the case to international bodies. Jonathan is one of at least 2 minors currently detained from the March protests.
This is not an anomaly. Reverend Leonard Barroso drew a direct parallel with July 11, 2021, when Pastor Lorenzo Rosales Fajardo and his 17-year-old son David were both arrested during protests, a systematic pattern of using minors as leverage against families and unsanctioned religious communities. In Havana, 21-year-old content creator Ana Benzi was charged and placed under house arrest after her mother filmed a state security agent delivering a summons. Her mother was charged first. The same playbook, different family. Christian Solidarity Worldwide's Annalise Stengel stated, "Detaining a 16-year-old child with a severe medical condition simply for attempting to exercise freedom of expression is unconscionable." Representative Carlos Gimenez of Florida demanded Jonathan's release. Jonathan Muir should be in a classroom, practicing sports, dreaming of his future. Instead, he is behind bars. Cubalex documented 55 confirmed detentions nationally in March. 32 people remain in custody, where their whereabouts are unknown. Jonathan is one of them.
Bueno, soy Carlos Jiménez, congresista del estado de la Florida. Estamos mirando la cara de un disidente que se considera como peligroso al régimen castrista comunista en Cuba. Fue arrestado en marzo de 14, todavía está en cárcel, simplemente por pidiendo la libertad, pidiendo el cambio en Cuba. Y por eso el régimen lo considera tan peligroso y por eso.
So here is what is happening simultaneously in Cuba in the last week of March 2026. A 16-year-old boy sleeps on a bedbug-infested floor in Ciego de Ávila with untreated bacterial infections on his skin because he was present at a protest where people shouted libertad. A millionaire American streamer films himself at a 5-star hotel saying Cubans are vibing, and he does not grapple with disaster tourism, not even a little bit. A habeas corpus petition is denied by a court that told the parents in advance it would be denied. Díaz-Canel receives a boat named after the revolution's founding myth, carrying 14 tons of supplies, none of which will reach Jonathan's cell. 650 international delegates applaud in air-conditioned auditoriums. 4 UN special rapporteurs express concern about systematic criminalization of dissent. Jonathan is on day 12. He has not been charged with a crime.
It's incredible. It's truly one of my favorite places officially. I totally understand why Will was saying that about Cuba. It's remarkable. The people's resilience is remarkable. There's like rolling blackouts that take place throughout the day, every day, all around the country, right? 11 million people. But today is a beautiful day out here. It's like 75 degrees, sunny. People are partying. People are partying in the fucking streets. I don't know if it's like an island mindset. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but like, they're just...
March 20th, Día Nacional de la Defensa. Singer-songwriter Silvio Rodriguez, 79 years old, the voice of the Nueva Trova, receives an AKM combat rifle at a ceremony of the Ministry of the Armed Forces. Díaz-Canel presides in military fatigues. General Álvaro López Miera hands the weapon. Another general clarifies this is not a call to war, but cultural resistance. Silvio had demanded his AKM on his blog. "I demand my AKM if they come, and I mean it seriously." Cuban comedian Ulises Toirac responded on Facebook, "Yo no quiero un AKM, quiero el país efectivo que me lleve a defenderlo. I don't want an AKM, I want an effective country that gives me reason to defend it." He continued, "Ideals, all abstract concepts, translate into bread, clothing, shelter, into dignity. A 79-year-old gets a rifle. A 16-year-old gets bedbugs."
The Cuban grid collapsed completely 3 times in March 2026 alone. March 4th, March 16th, March 21st. Cuba has not received oil imports since January 9th. Rolling blackouts reach 15 hours a day in Havana, 20 to 30 hours in some provinces. The regime's answer? A new resolution from the Ministry of Energy and Mines, allowing citizens to purchase solar power capacity from the state grid. The price is fixed in US dollars. 1 kilowatt costs $600 over 20 years. Cuba's average state salary is $13 to $16 a month. That is 46 months of wages for a single kilowatt. The government is charging its citizens in a foreign currency they largely do not earn for access to sunlight they already have. People are cooking on wood fires on their balconies. The sun is free. The regime found a way to bill for it. As of early March 28, 2026, the Friendship and the Tiger Moth have not been found. Mexico's Navy continues its search with aircraft and surface vessels. The Coast Guard's retraction means there is no confirmed sighting since departure. 9 people, including a small child, are somewhere in the Yucatan Channel, where NOAA reports northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots and seas of 3 to 6 feet with a cold front building. Jonathan David Muir Burgos is still in the Technical Investigations Department in Ciego de Ávila. Day 12. No charges, no medicine, no mattress he can sleep on. The convoy came to save Cuba. It cannot find its own boats. And the boy who asked for freedom, the boy who actually spoke up, in the place where it costs everything, is still in that cell. Nobody from the convoy said his name. Patria y vida.